I want Dustin to win so bad. MMA is so brutal. I just know Islam is going to win by KO in the first round. I've been watching it for too long. I agree with you. I can see that as well, you know. Makhachev catching him and putting him away. What happened? Wait, what? No way. Seriously? I got caught by that? What was it? Left hook? Oh, dude, I could see that as well, you know. Thank you for the $5. I'm an OG Poirier hater. I truly hope Islam slumps him on the feet in the first round. Also, I hope Max loses to Ilya. Is something wrong with me? Something may be wrong with you, yes. Thank you for the $5, yeah. Something may be wrong with you. Although I'm not a big fan of Poirier either, really. I'm a huge fan of his style, but something does irk me about him as well. I get what you mean. Thank you for the $5. The Basil Hafez fight, he was, yeah. Yeah, you should pay taxes. Like, there's certain parts of it where you should be paying taxes to have a functioning society. You know what I mean? Thank you for the $5. So I'm guessing that means you don't agree with Hassan Piker saying streaming is harder than a 9 to 5. $5. No, I don't agree with Hassan Piker saying streaming's harder than a 9 to 5. I will say this. If it was for the same amount of money, it would be close, but it's not for the same amount of money. And Hassan really did say that, yeah. He really did say that. Streaming's harder than a 9 to 5. The problem is streaming is stressful mentally to, like, prepare yourself for. Like, when I'm about to start an 8-hour live stream, it really does play on your mind. Like, dude. But the thing is, when you're doing a 9 to 5, you have this thought in your head, like, I'll never be anything. I'm never going to make it anywhere. This is it for me for the rest of my life. Really? That's the real problem with a 9 to 5. It's not just about laying bricks is as hard as reacting to a chat. No, it ain't even about that. It's the mindset that you have when you're working it and it's your only option. And that's what breaks you in a 9 to 5. Whereas this, it's like, yeah, I'll be fine. You know what I mean? Things will work out. It's a lot better that way. Thank you for the... I do think I should be taxed more than someone else who earns the same amount of me. That's my take. I think I should be taxed more. What kind of job would make the same wage as me? Like, you know, if you were working on an oil rig and you made the same amount that I did, chat. If I made the same amount as a doctor, the doctor should be taxed less. I truly believe that. I should be taxed more because I've had a more easy means of obtaining the money. I haven't had to go through the 7 years of schooling. I haven't been able, like, I had to go through 5 years of this and, you know, the competitive environment to get there. So I think I should be taxed more than like a doctor of the same wage. I think that needs to be more of a thing. Like, people that make money off live streams and need donating money should be taxed more than some guy actually fucking saving lives for a similar amount of money. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to pay him. I pay my taxes. I pay a lot of them. Gary just called his donators retards. You know what I mean, though. You guys ask questions. You get some kind of funniness from it. But I'll be watching these streams of these Kick TV guys, and there'll be people donating $50, chat. And they won't acknowledge it. They won't read it. It will just murmur on in the background of the video, and then that's it. $50 down. No benefit to it at all. Tony versus Diaz for the UNC Championship of the World. Yes, dude. They should have made that matchup. Chat, who else is pissed off that the UFC matchmaking team had an office meeting where they were told the information that Tony Ferguson and Nick Diaz are free for UFC Abu Dhabi. And then they thought, I know what we'll do. Let's do Diaz versus Luque and Ferguson versus Chiesa. They brought that. They brought that to the table. Maybe Nick pushed for a ranked opponent, but you got to do what's best for him instead. How could you not do Ferguson Diaz on that card? I would have taken a Luque Chiesa rematch. You know what I mean? Honestly. How bad would you rage if John were to beat Tom? He never will, and I won't exist in a world where he does, so I'll never know my response to it. I can't remember what I was just about to say. Oh, pork chops. I fucking hate them. I hate pork chops. I really dislike pork chops, chat. Anyone else? They are disgusting. The meat is too tough. All I like about pork chops, yeah, is the fat around the edge of it, and I'm not even joking. That might be the fattest thing I've ever said. I don't like the actual meat of it at all. I like the edge of it, and if there's enough of an edge of it, I'll eat it with the center bit. But I literally used to just trim the edge around and then leave the fucking main bit when I was younger. I hate pork chops. Really hate them. You got to hammer them, bro, so they're soft. I mean, I'm just not really into pork chops, mate. I don't know. I wasn't really looking for a debate, but I don't really like them. If cooked properly, they're good, maybe. Like, I know, like, I used to have to, like, douse it in apple sauce and shit, you know, back in the day. Just douse that shit in apple sauce and just fucking go crazy. Go mental with it. You know what I mean? What was that, Kleber? Get him on! Is honestly sounding like a recipe. Thank you for the $5. In retrospect, is it safe to say USADA was a terrible organization that robbed us of historic fights and some of the best years from fighters? They were paid. They were never their own thing. The UFC absolutely controlled USADA. Let's just say it one more time. Why did the UFC not re-sign with USADA? Because USADA disagreed with them on how to handle McGregor's testing. So they were dumped by the UFC. The UFC said he doesn't need to do 6 months. They said, well, he kind of actually does if we want to be consistent. And then they went, well, fuck off then. So they never had any control over the UFC. They were doing as they were fucking told. And the second that they didn't, for a big enough name, they got fucking ditched. Live again, what's the occasion? Yeah, everyone's shocked that I'm live again, but I got time, so we'll go live again. I was up early enough. Basil or Fez the GOAT, we'll see. Did you hear about Chris Matin? Any collabs on the horizon? Manel Cap. Burping a lot today. Manel Cap. Renato Moicano. Whoever the third one is. Someone else. We'll get Drickus on before his fight, surely. We got to do that. And then something about doing a poo in a toilet or something. Poo, bam, bam, poo. You know? Can you shout out ITP MMA Live?